Hi, I'm doing this video again. Keep trying and it keeps not happening. I'm gonna do my top 30 favorite television shows of all time. Honorable mentions, which is Wonderland, iconic, Seinfeld, hilarious, Everwood, an underrated drama that I think everyone should see. Facts of Life, my first classic show that really set me off on my classic TV journey. Home Improvement, childhood favorite. Parks and Rec, maybe should be on the list, but there's other shows I like more, so they didn't make the cut. Full House, childhood favorite. One Day at a Time. I love Anne. I love Snyder. I love it all, except for the final few seasons. But even then, I love the finale so much. And Taxi, I saw like a couple years ago, and it is hilarious. Christopher Lloyd, Danny DeVito, Jeff Conaway, Andy Kaufman, Carol Kane, Judd Hirsch, Mary Lou Henner. Think I looked up some people, but I didn't look up her. Right. Okay, I was doing the video and then got a message and then I looked up people, but I forgot to look up her. But Taxi is just like one of the most underrated comedies of all time. And he never needs to get on it and watch it. Saved by the Bell almost made the cut, but I had to make some sacrifices on this to make this happen. Okay, top 30 is Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Harvey and Sabrina forever. Like Saved by the Bell, Kelly and Zach forever. I thought when I rewatched Saved by the Bell that maybe I wouldn't love Zach and Kelly as much as an adult. Still love them. Same with Harvey and Sabrina. I still love them. I always wanted Sabrina's bedroom. I still want Sabrina's bedroom, which is my favorite bedroom of all time. Not just teen bedroom, but just in general. 29, Pretty Little Liars. This one was a surprise. Like, my goal is to watch like all these iconic shows to see what the hype is all about. And I went into Pretty Little Liars being like, I'll watch it and I'll move on in my life. Like, I didn't think I was going to care about it. And then I cared about it. I love the mysteries. I love the puzzles. I love when people, like, when they're dating, then their spouses, like, they come together, everyone comes together, and they start solving crimes together. I love that. Because I love, like, found family. To me, that's kind of like a found family situation where everyone just gets along and help each other. And, like, Caleb was my favorite character in the whole show. And I love Caleb and Hannah and Toby and Spencer, and I hate Ezra and Aria. But together. But again, I just loved when all of them came together to solve crimes, and I just loved it a lot more than I thought I was going to. Hence why it's on my list. Like, I could have maybe Saved by the Bell in its place, and I almost did, but I had to be true to myself and put it on there. 28 is The Wonder Years. Another one I could have put on here was Freaks and Geeks. It's another all-time favorite, but again, I had to really, really narrow it down. But The Wonder Years was so much better. I mean, I knew I would like it, but I didn't know I would love it as much as I do. And like the finale, I love the finale so much. And when it was over, I was like, oh, it's over. But like, the finale made me so happy. Like, I just loved it. 26 is Succession. This almost didn't make the list at all. But then I was sitting here before filming this the first time, and I was thinking about it. And I was like, it needs to be on this list. Because I watched it this year, and it'll probably be... on Instagram, I rank all the shows that I watched for the year at the end of every year, and I do it from best to worst, my worst to best. My Insta stories, and Succession will definitely be like number 2. Although I am watching Scandal right now, and I'm loving it, so who knows? But as of right now, Succession will probably be number 2. Number 1 is on this list, but I'll get to it. 25 is Prison Break. I watched it last year, and I loved it so much. It's crazy that Miley Cyrus's stepdad is in this show. That's really what I don't think about. But anyway, yeah, a lot of people don't like the I don't know if it's the final season or it's the revival or both, but I know some people don't like some aspects of the later stuff, but I loved all of it. I loved it all, and I'm so glad I finally got to it. That was a show on my list for a long, long time. And that one I knew I would like, because I like shows like Prison Break, so I was like excited. 24 is Schitt's Creek, David and Patrick. Iconic, wonderful. They were like, their journey was again so nice and so beautiful to watch, and the show was hilarious and heartfelt, and obviously I recommend it. It is so pure. 23 is Different Strokes. Philip Drummond is my favorite television father of all time. He was just like a friend, father, a great listener, not judgmental, very, very easygoing no matter what the situation was. He always was able to just like keep his cool, keep it under control. I know he was fictional, but the way that they wrote him and the way that he was played was just so good. Conrad Bain is underrated. He's, as an actor, as a person, he just played that role so well. And of course you have Gary Coleman, I know his name, Gary Coleman, and then it's just Todd Bridges, and you know who I'm thinking about. I'm just having like the worst memory of trying to remember everybody, but I know her. I just can't. Not remember it. But I loved the whole cast, Different Strokes. I thought they were great. Although I didn't like the later seasons when Philip got remarried to Dixie Carter and she had their son, and I didn't like his son and didn't like that relationship. I didn't like that. But there wasn't a finale either, which is disappointing, but what can you do? Number 22 was Community, and it is such a fun show. It's a unique show. I love how creative it was. Abed and Troy. I knew that. Abed and Troy are such an iconic duo, and again, it's such a unique show. It is so fun. And I need to rewatch that show. Like, there's a lot of shows I want to rewatch, and that is definitely one of them. I just haven't gotten around to it. I hope I get to do it soon, because I need to definitely rewatch that show. 21 is the Dick Van Dyke Show, and this is one of the funniest shows I've ever seen in my whole life. Laura and Rob are one of my favorite television couples of all time. I just loved how everyone just carried that show. There was not one person that was a weak link. They all were great, all hilarious. 20 is Barney Miller, and like that show, Hal Linden became one of my favorite television actors. Barney Miller became one of my all-time favorite television characters of all time. I just thought it was hilarious and fun and heartfelt, and I loved the characters. I loved the whole thing. The finale made me cry. The whole thing is, to me, perfect. It is a perfect show. 19, All in the Family. Dana Plato was in different shows. Oh my god. I have in my head, I didn't think Harry Plato. I was like, who? Now I was trying to think, what goes with Plato? Dana Plato. I told you I knew who it was. Anyway, 19 is All in the Family. Archie Bunker's iconic. Edith Bunker's iconic. Gloria Bunker's iconic. Okay. And I had seen Sally Struthers on Gilmore Girls, which is we're talk about coming up. But I always saw Sally Struthers on Gilmore Girls. I had always known she was on All in the Family, and I had always wanted to watch this show for years and years and years. And then I finally got to do it like a couple years ago, and I loved it so much. Like I said, I do a ranking every year. At the end of the year, I rank all the shows I watched that year from my worst to the best. And the year I watched that show, it was my number one show of the year. It was just so funny and so like the topics they talked about in that show are so still relevant today, which is scary. But I just loved how dynamic they made the whole thing. Like it wasn't Archie was sometimes right, you know. Very rarely did I think he was right, but there were times where he was, and there were times where Mike was wrong, and it wasn't always like no one was the bad guy. No one that was correct. There was no one that was wrong. It was all like a matter of perspective at the end of the day, and I appreciated that a lot. And yeah, so All in the Family. 18, Lost. I love the finale. I loved it. Sawyer and Kate are my OTP from the show. I love them so much. And this is a show I definitely want to rewatch, but it feels like that kind of show that once you watch it, it's hard to watch it again. Not because of the mystery, but because I feel like it's such a dense show. Like, it's like such a project to get through. There's a lot to pay attention to, and but I do want to rewatch it at some point. But I love Lost. If that's just Lost is one of those shows that if somebody wanted to watch it with me, I would watch it with them. Like because that's how much I do want to rewatch it. It's like a show I think that would be fun to watch with other people. Also, Love Sign in June. That's my another couple I love on this show, but I love that show so much. 17 is the Bob Newhart Show. Another show that is absolutely hilarious. Bob Newhart, oh my god, his death. I mean, he died last year. And of course, he was in his 90s. He lived a long time, but it was still hit me really, really hard because I love Bob Newhart. I want to watch Three's Company, which is on this list. I almost made the list. Like, in my video I made before this, I had just decided to like make a video of all the shows that I love. Because it was hard for me to narrow it down. I was going to do 20 and then went to 30. I went from like 15, 20, 30, and then I kept going, and it was like 100, and then I was like, I can't do this, since I was going to just do like overall like my all-time favorite show, and that got ridiculous, and so I didn't do that. But yeah, Three's Company I watched this year, and I really enjoyed that show. It's not on the list, unfortunately. But so all that being said, I was just thinking while watching the Bob Newhart show. I watched the Bob Newhart show several years ago, and I watched Three's Company, like I said, this year. And all I could think of in watching both of those shows was Chandler Bing on Friends. And I kind of wonder if Matthew Perry took inspiration from both of them, because his physical comedy was very much like Jack Schipper on Three's Company, and his deadpan was very much like Bob Newhart in the Bob Newhart show. Like he delivered a lot. Sometimes he would just deadpan, just stare at someone when they said something stupid. on Friends, or like his physical comedy was kind of similar. So I kind of wonder if he took inspiration from them. Who knows? I don't know. I can't ask him, but that's interesting. I was just thought was an interesting thought. I don't know. But the Bob Newhart show, everyone needs to see it. Mary Tyler Moore could have been on this list as well, but if I had to choose a show to rewatch, it would be the Bob Newhart show. I just thought that the Bob Newhart show was absolutely hilarious. So, yeah. 16, Entourage. This is the show I watched this year. It's probably going to be my number one show of the year, which is a surprise because I have heard a lot of negativity about the show, and so not a lot. I mean, it's like some people are like it's a bro show, and apparently I like those because I loved Entourage. I love the chemistry between every single character. I loved all the characters. Made me cry because there was an argument with two of the main actors, and they weren't talking to each other. It made me cry. Okay, like I just because I loved their friendship so much, and I didn't want them to fight, and it made me so sad. But yeah, Entourage is the one that, if you had asked me a year ago if it would be a favorite show, I'd probably have said probably not. But that's why I love to watch shows like out of my comfort zone. Not that the Entourage is out of my comfort zone, but there's shows that I don't know if I would have actually seen if I wasn't doing this. I don't know what it is, challenge project of like watching all these iconic shows, because Entourage is like an iconic show, so I was like, I'll watch it, and it's like I got obsessed, like I wanted all the merchandise from it, like I just loved it so much. And I'm upset because the movie is not on HBO Max. The show is, the movie isn't, and I want to watch the movie, but apparently the movie's not very good, but I can figure that out for myself. 15 is Breaking Bad. This show had everything. It's one of the most well written, well acted shows of all time. I feel like this show is going to go down in history as one of the best television shows of all time. Walt and Jesse are iconic. Jesse was both hilarious, and Aaron Paul could do comedy with him, make Jesse really funny, and then also do the drama so well. And I don't need to upsell Breaking Bad to anyone, because it is a well-known show that everyone pretty much likes that have seen it. So see it. 14, Malcolm in the Middle, and I did not intentionally pit two Bryan Cranston shows next to each other. It just happened. That's where I decided to place them. You're probably thinking, why isn't Breaking Bad above Malcolm in the Middle? But Malcolm in the Middle, to me, is more rewatchable. I would love to rewatch Breaking Bad, first of all, but Malcolm in the Middle is more rewatchable to me, and so like Malcolm in the Middle they're the most dysfunctional families I've ever seen on television, and I love it. I love it. I love how crazy the family is. I love Jane Kasmerick, and like the whole thing is just so good. I feel like it's underappreciated as well. And apparently they're doing a reboot. I don't know how I feel about it, but I'm gonna watch it. But I'm interested to see where everybody is now. But Hal and Lois, they were so good together as a couple. But Lois, I would not want as a mom. Let me say that. But also her kids were crazy, so I understand how stressed out she might have been. But it's, again, Malcolm in the Middle. Please watch Malcolm in the Middle. I know people don't really like the final seasons too much, but I loved it all. Every episode, every season, I loved all of it. 13, New Girl. This is one of the funniest shows of all time. This is like Nick, Schmidt, Winston, and sometimes Coach when he's in it. They made the show. I'm sorry. Jess wasn't that funny to me, but I loved Jess and Nick as a couple. And she's Ian Schmidt, but Jess as by herself, no, I don't think she was that funny. But the guys are hilarious. And this is a show I've also been wanting to rewatch, but I'm sure I'll get to it someday. Another show I should probably mention is Game of Thrones. I watched that for the first time this year as well, and I highly enjoyed it. Not on the list because I will never watch it again. As much as I liked it and enjoyed it, there's just so much in it that happens that I do not think I need to see again. You know, if you've seen the show, you know, probably know what I'm referring to. But it's just one of those shows that I don't think I could ever watch ever again. But it was a one time watch. I'm so happy to say I've seen it, and I get the hype, and I didn't mind the final season. I know people hate the final season. I love the final season. I love the whole show. But yeah, I felt like I needed to mention that I have seen Game of Thrones because New Girl and Game of Thrones have absolutely nothing in common. But I just want to make sure that you know that I've seen Game of Thrones. Number 12 is Oz, and I know I just said I would never watch Game of Thrones again because of how graphic it is in some ways. Oz is the most graphic. I would never watch Oz again, and this is on my list. But Oz, I have to pivot on here because it's one of the most underrated dramas ever. It never got any Emmy nomination because of how graphic the show was. It's the first HBO show that ever aired. It set the tone for HBO. The show is so well written and acted, and I loved it from beginning to end. It is one of those shows that I want everyone to watch and experience because it is one of those shows that I need more people to talk about. Like, when people talk about, like, oh, this is one of the greatest shows of all time, like Breaking Bad, Sopranos, The Wire, Game of Thrones, and yes, all of those are really good shows. But Oz needs to be mentioned on those lists as well because it is one of the most, like again, one of the most well acted shows of all time. And I know I just said I probably would never watch it again, but now I want to rewatch it. Just talking about it, I want to rewatch Oz. But I know what happens in Oz, and so maybe that's why I want to watch it again because I know it all. But Oz is just one of those shows that I feel like should be, again, talked about more. So watch it. 11 is The Wire. Michael K. Williams' death, that was so sad. And he was so talented, and he could have, I don't know, it's like one of those things where I can't help but wonder, like, where he'd be now if he was still alive. With his career and everything. But Omar Little, one of the best characters of all time. I've been wanting a shirt that says, "If you come for the king, you must not miss." Since I finished the show, and that was a few years ago, I just cannot find a good one. There's not one I've seen that I'm happy with. But one day, I will own a shirt with Omar Little that says that if you come for the king, you must not miss. Because I've been wanting one forever. But yeah, The Wire is one that people talk about. It is one that people talk about and hype up as they should because it's great. Yeah. Number 10 is The Sopranos. This is the third show I watched in my wanting to watch all these iconic shows, whatever you want to call it. The Sopranos changed how I watch television, the shows that I watch, the movies that I watch. Because Because with The Sopranos, I guess I watch a lot of like safe shows, and then The Sopranos, I was like, I don't know, it's very violent, and I loved it. And now I love crime shows. I love like The Wire and The Oz and Prison Break. I just and Breaking Bad. I just love these shows so much, and I think I like what I'm learning. I like action. I like things to go and happen, and I don't care about the moral compass of these characters. I just want to see them do what they're going to do, and it's because I know like they're going to kill someone, they're going to beat someone up. Like I know, it's going to happen, and I eat it up. I eat it up, and I've seen I've seen Goodfellas, I've seen Scarface, I've seen Casino, and I loved all of them, all those movies, and The Sopranos really did like. I think it started me watching like actual like grown up shows that are not holding your hand or like censoring anything. I feel like Sopranos like opened my eyes again to a genre that I really love, and it's my favorite type of show now. Was like crime shows, crime dramas, and just dramas in general, like high stake dramas. I love, and it's all because of The Sopranos. 9 is Boy Meets World. Getting the 9 and up are all very like rewatchable shows. New Girl maybe could have been up there, but it's where it should be. It's where it should be. Boy Meets World. No, I have to say much about it other than it's iconic and heartfelt and funny, and I feel like it's one of those shows that never spoke down to kids ever. They realize that kids can think and they have emotions and they are not stupid. So I just feel like Boy Meets World is like the most perfect show, one of the most perfect shows of all time. Number 8 is Buffy. Michelle Trachtenberg's death was shocking and sad, and it still is, but for the Vampire Slayer, I knew I would love this show. This is a show that I went into and I was so excited because I was like, this is gonna be a new favorite show of mine. I just know it, and it became one of my favorite shows of all time. I love Spike and Buffy, despite that episode in season 6 that is awful. But I'm not going to condemn a character for doing what was written for them. So, there's that. But, yeah, Buffy. Oh my god. What can you say about Buffy that hasn't been said already? This is like one of the teen shows that is really good. Like, high quality, good writing, good acting, good storytelling. Like, a lot of teen dramas I don't tend to like very much, but I love this show, and it's a teen drama, but it feels like it's an elevated version of that in a lot of ways. So yeah, Buffy, yay. 7, Downton Abbey. Oh my gosh. This is another show like Pretty Little Liars that I was like, I'm gonna watch it and I'll move on with my life. I thought it'd be highbrow, that it'd be boring. And then I got sucked in. I got obsessed. I wanted all the merchandise. I wanted just to watch it and not, like, I would stay up late watching this because I just wanted to be like, what happens next? What happens next? It was like that show that I needed to know, like, what's going to happen. And this is a show I need to rewatch very much. My mom and stepdad watched it for the first time this year, and they got obsessed with it, and I could have watched it with them, but I like to watch stuff at my own pace, at my own time, so I'll rewatch this show on my own time. But the final movie's coming out next week. I think it's next week, the 12th. Next week. And I'm sad. It's over. But I'll be happy to have the third movie in my collection and be able to just rewatch the show and the movies as much as I want. Because it's good. 6, I Love Lucy. Desi and Lucy, Desi Arnaz and Lucy Ball, one of the best comedic duos of all time. You could tell they had so much fun together. Like, they had a good time working together. Up until they didn't, but the beginning at least, they had a lot of fun, and they were best friends, and you can tell that they were best friends. Just how they interact, just like Desi and Lucy Ricky and Lucy are best friends, and that comes across so much in the show as well. Like, they're just Desi and Lucy are one of my all-time favorite old Hollywood couples, even though they did not stay married. And Desi is my favorite Hollywood celebrity of all time. Just, putting it out there. But the whole show is just great. And I feel like, a lot of shows now, they have, like, their friends as family thing. And I feel like I Love Lucy was the first show to do that with Fred and Ethel. Because you don't really see their parents. You only see Lucy's mom every so often. You never see Desi's parents. Like, so it's, or Fred. Fred is old. Ethel's mom, his dad is still alive, but it's just, it's just like the friends do everything together, and they're at each other's milestones, and they're just like, again, family, each other's family. And I feel like I Love Lucy started that whole thing, and it's nice. 5 was The Office. Michael Scott, iconic, hilarious. Absolutely love him. I know people think he's annoying, but I love him. He is the best boss in the world. When Steve Carell left his final episode, I cried my eyes up. And I hadn't seen this when it was on the air. I watched it a few years ago for the very first time. And again, when he left, I knew he left, obviously. And I cried so much. But Office is hilarious and wholesome, and I love it. Number 4 is MASH. I watched it last year. It's not new to me. I had seen all of it except for the final season. I had never seen the finale, which is absolutely crazy to me because MASH used to put on TV. So that's how I've seen almost every single episode, because they would show them and I would watch them. And I had season 1 on DVD for a while, and I rewatched season 1 a lot. So I knew those episodes by heart, pretty much. But I had never seen the finale. But like every time the guy would say the finale of MASH, I would be like, oh, I'll watch it. But then I would only for some reason, I always forget. And then I tune in the last like 5 minutes. And that's the only part of it that I'd ever seen. It's the last 5 minutes of the show. And then to be able to watch it all in one go, like when we're getting to end into the finale and not just bits and pieces of it. The finale made me cry. It is one of the best finales of all time. And my favorite characters are Klinger, Radar, Colonel Potter, Father McCahey, Henry Blake, BJ, Trapper. Yeah, that's it. I don't like Hawkeye. Don't like him. Number 3 is ER. My favorite. This is the beginning of a lot of things. Like, I know I said Sopranos at the beginning of me liking dramas, but ER was the first drama that I saw before The Sopranos. But I hadn't seen it. I did not watch ER when it aired on television. I watched the final season, and I got hooked on it. And so then I started getting the DVDs for my birthday or Christmas, and then I had them all, but I would get the DVD for the season, and then would watch the season, and then I would get them throughout time, and I would watch them as I got them. And so I have seen it all But this is a show I do want to rewatch because they have all the seasons on DVD and I have never rewatched it. But I'm also kind of nervous to watch it from beginning to end because I am someone who tends to get tired of watching a show even if I am enjoying the show. And 15 years is a lot. So, and I hope when I am done with it, I don't go, oh, okay, well, you know. But Mark Gainer is my favorite television character of all time. And okay, we're finally there. Number 2 is Gilmore Girls. I'm very basic. I don't like Logan. I don't like Jess. I don't like Dean. So let's get that out of the way right now. I do not have a team for Rory. I'm team be by herself because she needs to be by herself. But I also like Luke and Lorelai, and they messed with them too much, and so I don't really like them anymore. But I don't. But I mean, I love all the iconic moments of them being a couple. So when they happen, I still get excited. But then I'm like, they ruined them. They did ruin them. But I like the first 4 seasons the most. And the finale, I don't know how they pulled out that finale, but they did it. And they did a great job. And, yeah. Number 1 favorite show of all time is Friends. Again, I'm very basic. But I saw that for the first time, I think when I was 18 years old. I had not seen it when it aired on television. I had not. And then, we had the Netflix DVD still, and I had rented all of the season. I don't think season 10 was out of the DVD yet because it had just ended. I think the show had ended, but I had on Netflix DVD, I had all the seasons 1 through however many there were out at the time on DVD, and I watched them all on there. And then again for like birthdays and Christmas, I started asking for the seasons on DVD, and then I got all of the seasons on DVD, and we watched the show over and over and over again. I have probably watched that show 5 or 6 times all the way through, and I need to watch it. I haven't rewatched it in a long time, but it's all considered my favorite show of all time, and I did it. I finally did it. Oh my goodness! If you have 30 favorite shows you want to share with me, please let me know in the comments. But that is all. Goodbye.